Literally 100K cash collected with no course. How do you do that? This is exactly how you do that. So how I did it was I had one viral video, I had one free chat room, I had one low ticket consultation, which then was upsold to a high ticket coaching program, 6K. Hey, today I'm going to tell you the whole tech stack you need in order to get 40K per month, 30K per month, scale your offer. Now, the truth is you really don't need a lot. And the most important thing, I guess, is your investment of energy, investment of your time into certain things. And what are those things? The first thing I would say is creating content that is developed specifically for your audience, right? No amount of ads, no amount of outbound is going to overcome a bad funnel, right? Your marketing funnel, your content has to be set up in the correct way. So you don't need to make this complex. It's very simple. You can engineer yourself to go viral, okay? This is how you do it, okay? So the first thing you need to do, focus a lot of time on YouTube, making good content, and using that content as a way to build your funnel, build your community. The better your content, the better your community. It's just that simple. If you have terrible content, you're not going to build a community. It's just that simple. All right. So how did we actually go viral? Well, there's a couple steps, right? We hit the market at a completely different angle, okay? The type of content that I was producing, I was a guy speaking Korean, white guy speaking Korean in Japan doing Airbnb. All these things combined, it made people go like, huh, what's that? And then they look at it, right? You got to bring something new to the table. Bring something new. It doesn't matter what it is. Wear a pink shirt. You got to make people look at this and be like, okay, this is new, right? Because that is going to drive attention. And the only thing we care about right now is driving attention. So here are the tools you need. I honestly just use an Osmo Pocket Camera, okay? You do not need to overcomplicate this. Osmo Pocket Camera and YouTube, right? That's the only thing I use. And you can edit for free in CapCut, okay? We were editing for free in CapCut. We had the world's most terrible subtitles. The camera quality was not that great. And I was literally just walking around with a camera, okay? The content was super simple. We uploaded like 10 minutes and it just, now those videos have thousands of views. It was literally just me walking around a house, okay? But this was something that people are interested in. What are people actually interested in? So you need to spend your time thinking about, what is this person interested in? What is my audience interested in? And I'll never forget what my business partner told me at the time. I asked him, why do you want me to record a video of me walking around for 10 minutes? It makes no sense. Why would someone watch this? He's like, that's what the people want to watch. I was like, are you serious? And so he uploaded it and it got tons of views. It was great because it's showing something new. It's showing something that people don't see every day. So the most important thing is the angle. Is the angle of this content. Is this angle showing something new that everyone has not seen, right? We've all seen the vlogs. We've seen the people with the Rolexes. We've seen the private jets. We've seen the eating at X restaurant. But, there's always something new, right? That's something your niche actually might be interested in. For us, it was Airbnb, right? So what were people interested in? They were seeing properties overseas, seeing if it works for Airbnb, seeing, going on a virtual tour. This is like new content for that niche. So you need to think about what kind of content is going to work in your niche, right? So anyways, that people who are really interested in Airbnb doing it overseas, like those people are going to watch that content. We even have a video of a guy installing a door lock, and that had like 1,000 views. Why does it have 1,000 views? It's not because the channel has a bunch of subscribers, okay? It's because people have weird content desires, right? The algorithm knows best. And a lot of times you'll see on the comments of some videos, like, why is the algorithm recommending this? But I'm so happy it did, right? And the reason for that is we don't actually understand ourselves what we want to watch. So you really zoning in on what we need to watch, that's very important. So building that content funnel of just stuff that people want to watch and that actually adds value to your prospects, right? If you show that you're going through the process of doing this, for example, if you're a fitness coach, show that you're going to get six-pack abs. Show that you're helping your clients, in real time. It doesn't matter what the content is so much. It matters the angle at which you approach this stuff, okay? So the YouTube and Osmo Pocket Camera, that's all you really need, right? I have a full content guide here that you can get. So let's talk about the free chat room, right? Once we have the eyeballs, the attention, we need to send them somewhere, right? We need to have a list, okay? Email was dead. in this market. No one uses email. So what we did instead was we had a chat room. Okay. And to be honest, I don't use email a lot. I know some people don't. So chat rooms, I think free chat rooms, super easy. You can do blasts to your whole community all the time. You can ban people. You can do whatever you want. It's great, right? So what do we do with the community? We launched and we got about 50 to 100 members at the start. And then we grew consistently to 1,000 members. And we started releasing guides with Notion, right? That's all you need to release. It's not complex, guys. You do not need to go out there and, shoot a ton of videos, do this big course, hire a videographer. It's not that complex, right? So it's just how the stuff is structured and what kind of value you're providing to your community, right? So we had this Notion guide, and it was a very comprehensive guide. It showed you how to do a lot of things. It gave you a lot of information, but it didn't give away the very next steps. And so, what is your community going to do if they're armed with so much information but not able to take action? Well, they're going to want to take action, but they might need some help. We did have some people who were able to actually launch Airbnbs and become somewhat successful just with the Notion. We were able to get some people to, actually get successful with the Notion. But for the vast majority of people, that was not enough. They needed extra help. How did we give them that extra help? Well, we opened a $100 consultation, okay, is a coffee chat. This was done offline, but you can also do it online. There's no real difference. It's just like our audience wanted to do it offline, okay? And we would gather like groups of 5 to 10 people. So you're already generating revenue. We already were generating a couple, extra thousand per month just by implementing the low ticket consultation. Okay. Yes, it was more time out of our day, but we do multiple things. We do market research before we even launched our offer. We did market research. We understand what are the biggest problems my ICP has. We understand what are their desires? What do they want to do? What's their budget, right? We get to completely profile all of these people on the consultation, right? The consultation not only serves as a time for them to get value from us to understand how this whole process works. To be honest, like no one can achieve anything in 1 hour. It's simply impossible. So you can give them all the information, everything, and they're not going to be able to act on it, okay? So what we did was we were able to profile them, understand how much they might be worth to us, what we want to do with them. And we started building that relationship, right? Because to sell a 6K program, it's not easy. You can do it off rip cold and, pressure people into it and stuff like that. But you really want to be building this relationship. So they're asking you, hey, can I get in on this? How do I do this? Right. Because we were getting warm leads after we did all these coffee chats, right? So it's essentially a mini sales call, right? And even on some of these $100 consults, I was able to immediately upsell into the program, right? I immediately upsold the very first call that I took. My business partner was taking a lot of calls as well, but I was able to upsell him on, coaching, monthly coaching. My first sale was actually $500 a month. And, I was just testing, okay, does this offer work? Can we actually, make this work? And so if you want to generate cash really fast, like this is one of the ways you can offer consultation services. It's like, everyone's so against selling their time, but I don't think selling your time in this case is really that bad because you're doing research, you're doing high-level business decisions. It's just that you're getting paid for your hours when you're doing that, okay? It's not like you're trading your time. You're not a slave. You're not a corporate slave. So this is, kind of rethinking that low ticket offer. Anyways, it gets people to buy into this program, okay? Then after 90 days, we're able to launch a high ticket coaching program sold for 6K. We pre-sold to 16 people. So I think it's about 100K, right? It's about 100K in 90 days. And that was crazy, right? We were able to, smash all of our revenue goals because we never thought it was going to have the demand that it did. We're just thinking maybe we'll get a couple sales, but we got 16. I was very happy about it, right? So we pre-sold the program to the people who were on the coffee chats before. We had profiled everyone and had a database of our ICPs, right? So after that, we actually decided to launch the course after getting 16 sales. So literally 100K cash collected with no course. How do you do that? This is exactly how you do that. If we don't fill up all the slots, we said we're going to launch 5 slots. If we don't fill up the slots, we're going to just, we'll give you some custom tailored course, right? You always need to have a backup plan just in case things go wrong. But it's important to gauge your audience as well. And this course, mind you, was the simplest, bare bones, super easy course ever, right? It was Notion, Loom, and Slack. That's the only thing we had. I filmed all the modules in like 2 days, right? It's really not that hard. So it's really about finding what your ICP needs, where they're at, and building a community, building content around that, right? The more we focus on what they actually need to solve and what problems they're facing, the more value we can bring. What ad technique is going to get me, all these leads? What message is going to get me all these leads? What cold email campaign is going to just suddenly break it for me, right? There's likely a problem within your business that's actually causing you to not make the money you want to make, right? And it could be your offer positioning, it could be your content, it could be your back-end systems. Maybe you're stuck in delivery and you can't actually focus on this stuff. Whatever the problem may be, what you do need to focus on is making sure this content resonates and also hits your ICP in the most effective way possible. Well, I didn't shut it down. I had a very bad fallout with my business partner, but why did I stop? In short, this offer was not scalable. Okay. We had a lot of problems scaling this offer. So we were able to get it to 40, 50K a month. But actually doing all the delivery and doing that with my business partner, it just wasn't working out. Right. So I'm just going to be fully transparent with you. Like, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. I know exactly how you do it. Maintaining it and making it go and keeping it going. That's another discussion. And scaling it, picking a scalable offer is very important. And I didn't pick a scalable offer. I picked a very sellable offer. But actually scaling Airbnb coaching, it's a hard offer to scale. Okay. So, and all the Airbnb coaches in the space, if you look at them, they're selling so many upsells and so many things on the back end that it makes it possible for them to deliver because they've got so much back end like help. They've got so many VAs, so many coaches, so many client success managers that it's literally impossible for their clients to fail. The only reason that we were not able to do that is because I think we grew too much too fast, and that's just what happens when you scale. Sometimes it doesn't work. So yeah, that's kind of why I stopped. Just want to make sure everyone's on the same page. Like why'd you stop? So that's why. Anyway, this whole system is very easy to implement in any business. I've got pre-built systems in how to implement this. If you want to check out this free board, you can check it out. I'll leave the link in the description. But if you're interested in having me build this for you and having me install this for you and making your business scale to 30K, 40K, 50K per month, I have a link in the description as well to apply to work with me. So just click there. You can always reach out to me on Instagram as well. That's pretty much it. This is exactly how you scale to 30K, 40K, 100K in 90 days, right? If you want to just generate some cash, this is how you do it. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something from this content. It's my first time like mapping out exactly how I did it. So hope you enjoy, and I'll see you in the next video.